All right, let's watch how this Kenya woman left her job on Wall Street to start a coffee business that now brings in over $3 million a year. The coffee brand is called Kahawa 1893. And it's moving up. It's going up. It's going up. Again, it's from Kenya. I'll let her tell us the story. Let's sit back. Let's watch this. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich of Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
When I was on Wall Street, it was very fast-paced. As a woman, and especially as a Black woman, I was one of very few people in the industry. So I really had this motivation that I wanted to rise up. I survived on coffee. My name's Margaret Nyamumbo. I'm 36 years old, and I live in New York City. My coffee company, Kahawa 1893, brought in over $3 million last year.
First I smell it.
I am at 3 cups now a day, so I feel like that's the limit before I start getting jittery. Kahawa 1893 is a specialty coffee company. We source coffee from women farmers in Africa, and we give back to empower them. Kahawa means coffee in Swahili, which is the language that we speak in Kenya. And 1893 is the year that coffee was first commercially grown in Kenya. So this is the Kenyan flag, and
Sorry, I missed that. Can be found online in grocery stores across the country, including Trader Joe's and Target. I do shop at Trader Joe's. I don't drink coffee, but I may get a bag just to support. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's like, really good or not, because I don't drink coffee. My mom does, so maybe I'll get my mom a bag and have her tell me. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Trader Joe's, okay.
so this is the Kenyan flag, and Kenya is the main place that we source our coffee from. I grew up on a coffee farm in Kenya, and what I observed is a majority of the labor came from women. And so I wanted to build a brand that would give back to the women who are doing majority of the work. And so our coffee bags have a QR code on the back that you can scan and tip farmers.
That's pretty dope. That's a pretty dope addition to the business. Nice. I have not seen that. Y'all let me know if y'all have seen anything like that. I've not seen that before.
Our business is split into 3 major channels. So we have our website, online, Amazon, but the majority of our business is actually in grocery. Part of the business is also in food service, cafes, and offices as well. My parents were not happy when they heard that I had left a well-paying job on Wall Street to start a coffee company, because coffee was not as prestigious of a career at the time. To them, it was almost embarrassing that I was choosing to do coffee. I was working more than when I was in banking, but it didn't feel the same because I was essentially doing many different things and I loved what I was doing. I grew up in Western Kenya in a small town called Kisii. My parents growing up were farmers and traders. Coffee was seen as, a crop that didn't really pay farmers that well. So it was not something that was desirable to be into. In Kenya, we drink tea, we drink chai. We export all our coffee. I remember my first cup was on my flight here. I was going to America. I felt like I had to fit in, so I ordered a cup of coffee, and it was bitter. And then in college, just to stay awake and study, I really got into coffee, and again, at work. It was an acquired taste that I started to love. I was covering consumer packaged goods. And it's during that process that I really got interested in studying a brand, because I learned how different brands had been started, and I realized that brands, even Fortune 500 companies that are household names at one point, had very small, humble beginnings. And so coffee to me was a natural match, because I had this experience growing up on the farm. It's been a family business. It started off as a side hustle, but it was really hard to balance out because my job was very demanding. I really couldn't do anything on the side except weekends. Even weekends was kind of pushing it. So I thought I'd take a sabbatical or a leave of about a year to really explore this idea, and if it didn't work out, to go back to my job. So once we roast it, we taste it. It's called a cupping method. It's scoop the coffee, and then you spit it. Funny enough, it didn't feel scary. I felt that I had, an amazing resume. I had an MBA, I had good work experience, and so I felt that if I needed to come back into the job market, that I'd be able to do that. I didn't want to regret not ever having tried it. We are a small company still, so I'm involved from choosing which coffees we're going to roast this week, cupping the coffees, sampling them, all the way to thinking about marketing strategies for that week, talking to investors, customers, checking in with our customer service team, and overall just setting the strategy for the team. So for the packaging, we give it this color, which reflects the vibrant African colors. The bags also have animals, which is a safari theme, which reckons back to this dynamic landscape of the Masai Mara, the safari back in Kenya. So when we first started the brand, I was basically working around the clock. So I wake up, I'm thinking about it. I was dropping off packages at the post office. I was roasting. I was doing tastings. At night, I'm sending emails, posting on social. The first year was fully self-funded from my savings and reinvesting any profits that we got. So didn't raise any money or debt for that first year.
Hey, didn't raise any money, but didn't raise any debt. That's a successful first year in my opinion. Because if you can just break even, the quicker you can get to breaking even in this entrepreneurship world, the better. The better. You can live to fight another day. That's how I always look at it. Like if every day when I look at sales, when I look at profits and costs and everything, as long as I break even and I say I made enough to keep the lights on, we're good. We can fight another day. When the moment you start slipping into debt, at least for me, slipping into debt and slipping further and further away from being profitable, that's when obviously things get a little shaky. But if she went a whole year, the whole first year, and ended out with no debt and the business still running, that's success to me. That's dope.
First year. Then the pandemic hit and that business went away overnight. I was really in a very weird state. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I used up all my savings and I had about $50,000 in credit card debt. I was about to get a part-time job to start to supplement the business as it grew. And then we got a lucky break. We got contacted by Trader Joe's and they were interested in bringing the coffee brand into their stores as our own brand. So that was the first time I felt like, oh my God, we have something here, and really began to invest in making sure that we could get the product in the store. And so that was the first time that we needed outside investment. So it was very stressful. It was also a very short period of time. And during the pandemic, which is when the supply chain issues just took off. So it was a very unique time to be able to be doing something that big. We were going to be the first Black and woman-owned coffee brand to be in Trader Joe's, and somehow it took off. We started getting calls from other retailers, so like Target, Sprouts. It's like we were dealing with Trader Joe's, but also now suddenly we had to source for other retailers. 3 years later, I've been able to have a salary and I'm out of credit card debt. I actually have zero.
Oh, that's a good coffee.
Yeah.
I'm a tea girl, but that's a good cup of coffee.
I'm very, very, very particular about my coffee.
It's been an amazing relationship. It's been life-changing for the business. I think the amount of exposure that we were able to get from the show actually went viral in Kenya. So that was kind of a surreal moment. On our website, we charge from $16 to about $20 for a 12-ounce bag of coffee. In deciding what we charge for a bag of coffee, we kind of think about 3 things. So first is the price of the unroasted coffee, which we call green coffee. Most of the cost is actually getting the coffee from unroasted to its final destination. And then the cost of roasting the coffee, packaging it, transit, we bake in a little bit of profit. We also look at what are other coffee brands charging. Our goal is to keep growing our distribution, so being able to bring coffee to more households. So we are working towards increasing distribution, and also the more coffee that we're able to distribute, the more farmers that we can bring into our system and the more impact that we can have on the ground. It is a dream job. I wouldn't have predicted it, but it's something that I love doing. I don't know what else I would be doing if I wasn't doing this.
Yeah, she did it. She did her thing. Yeah, I thought it was dope. She went to Harvard. Really, I wasn't even expecting that. She got her MBA from Harvard. Came over from Kenya in 2007 and really made it happen. Went to college, did her thing, but then found out, this corporate world really ain't it. Let me do something that is true to my heart. I did like how she highlighted the fact that she worked more on her with the coffee business than she did with her 9 to 5, which may seem a little cliche. I'm sure everybody has heard that before when it comes to entrepreneurship, but it's good to hear and highlight because it's one of those things where, because she said it too, where it's like it just feels better. Me personally, in the corporate world, I tend to get kind of bored after a couple of years at a job. I just find yourself waking up, oh, it's just another day. Nothing is really exciting for me after about the 24th month. And I don't look to quit or anything. It's just I can feel my energy not being where it was, the first 6, 8, 12 months. But with business, it's not the same. Like for me, I wake up excited every day to figure out the next step in the process of growing a brand. And I've been growing Black Primacy for 5 years, right? And I'm not to the point where I'm like, oh, it's just another day. No, it's still exciting to me to see it grow, and I work much more than I have ever worked at any job on the business. So I say that to say, like, yeah, you work a whole lot more, but it is rewarding. And I hate to sound cliche, but it's the truth. Like, it's much more rewarding when you're working on your own thing, especially when you're working on something that is like close to your heart. Like this is close to her heart because um, she's Kenyan, she's from Kenya, and everything about this coffee business connects her back to her home her home country. So um, I know I understand the feeling that she has. Same with Black Primacy. To me, like everything that I do, and everything that I do with the business and the business mission and everything, all relates back to how I feel and what makes me happy to give back to the Black community. Um, the other thing that I thought was really dope on here was how she was saying that she didn't take any loans. She wasn't in any debt up until the pandemic, where I think she said she was like $50,000 worth of debt. She had to go find a part-time job to clear that up, which she did. But what was key was that the moment an opportunity came, she was able to go get outside funding and outside financing. The Trader Joe's thing came at the time that she absolutely needed it because the business was suffering due to the pandemic. Trader Joe's came in, gave her an offer, and she was able to go secure almost, I think it was like 250 or 280 something, close to $300,000 worth of funding from family and friends. This right here to me is key because I've told several entrepreneurs in the past to be very careful when you decide to go take on debt and go out for funding and everything. Like, you have to make sure you do that at the right time. Just you start a business a month ago, you may want to hold out on trying to get all this outside funding because there may be an opportunity in the future that where that outside funding can be more helpful to you than just going to go get it and burning all your bridges and burning everything up before you ever even get to the opportunity. Imagine if she would have been like most people, especially those in the Black community, and going out and getting loans and borrowing from friends and family way early on just to try and sustain the business instead of trying to figure it out on her own. And then when Trader Joe's came for an offer, she had already burned all those bridges out. It would have been harder for her to get that, $250,000-$300,000 in funding. I've had people come to me, oh, can I invest? I'm like, not right now. At some point, there will be a point where yes, I will be looking for investors. But right now, I can get it. I can get it all done on my own. But there will be a time where, for me, for Black Primacy, there's going to be that moment where an organization, a person, an individual, somebody or something is going to come in, and they're going to offer to help. And that's when I'll be able to hit up everybody like, all right, now's the time. Y'all want to invest? Let's do it, right? Because I didn't exhaust that over the first 5 years that I've been in business. So I think that was a really key moment for any entrepreneur that's watching, or anybody who's considering getting into business, or anybody who just got started, to really, really, really think about it when it comes to outside funding. Like, do you really need it? Stay out of debt if you absolutely can. Stay out of debt and fund the business out of pocket as much as you possibly can, until you get to that moment. And you'll know when you get to that moment, when it's time. You'll know when someone comes knocking at the door, whether it be, again, an individual with with a lot of cash, or an organization, a company, or of some sort. You'll know, and then you'll be able to capitalize on the moment. The opportunity will meet preparation right at that moment. You'll be able to capitalize, and you'll be able to take off the way she did. So congratulations to Margaret. I'm not going to try and pronounce the last name because I don't want to mess it up. But congrats to you, and in the coffee company. Yeah, this was dope. This was dope. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, all right? It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.